Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video I'm going to take a look at Even Shaman, which is kind of the modern take on the classic token shaman, a mid-range shaman deck that builds a board of plenty of tokens, buffs them up, uses synergies for having lots of minions, and tries to kill you that way. One could ask, why do you build this on an even deck? You can't even use Bloodlust. Well, there are two cards that make it good to run an even deck. So first of all, there's Greymane, which is the core of all even decks. So your hero power costs only 1. That means that you always have a turn 1 play, and you can weave in those hero powers quite flexibly to build a wider board. And the second card is perhaps one of the best early game minions in the game right now, the Murloc Eel, which is a 2-mana 2/3 beast with a battle cry: if your deck has only even cost cards, deal 2 damage. So Murloc Eel is the real star of this deck. It's a very powerful tool to swing those early boards and gain board control and move on from there. Because Shaman has rather miserable early game otherwise, a deck without Murloc Eel, if it was not an even deck, would not be able to get early board control, and therefore the whole token strategy would just fall apart from there. That's why this is what we have if you want to play Shaman in a token way. Other than that, Even Shaman is also the most successful Shaman archetype of the early Witchwood metagame, which is not a lot because Shaman is by a large margin the worst class of the early Witchwood metagame, and this deck is basically a around 50% win rate deck. Feels bad, but what you gonna do? If you want to play Shaman, this can at least win some games. It's not a terrible deck. Looking at detailed statistics shows that this is actually a really good deck against Quest Rogue. This really wrecks Quest Rogue. It's also really good against Face Hunter, and it even gives Paladin a run for their money. It's around even against all sorts of Paladin decks. But where it really comes apart is Warlock and Priest matchups. Those are miserable. So if there's a lot of Rogue, a lot of Paladin, a lot of Hunter, this can be a good deck. If there's a lot of Warlock, a lot of Priest, this is a miserable deck. Let's take a bit of a look at the token strategy in depth. So your turn 1 is, oftentimes it's a hero power. Sometimes if you're on the coin you can also of course coin a 2-drop. But then those totems, they just don't do much by themselves, so you need to be able to activate them. And this deck has multiple means to turn your totems and other tokens into actual threats. There's Double Alpha, which buffs the adjacent minions, Flametongue Totem, which does the same, and there's Defender of Argus as well, which gives the specific 2 adjacent minions there a permanent buff. Because all of this stuff is so highly position dependent, this is a deck that requires careful positioning of your minions. You typically want to put your big threats on the left and then form a chain of smaller stuff on the right, where the hero power minions also appear. So then you can have something like a Flametongue Totem, and then you just can trade in one small minion at a time, and then the big ones can go face. So there's a bunch of ways to buff minions, and these buffs also work well with Charge and Rush. So there's Vicious Scalehide, great card in the early game against Paladin, trading away those tokens. And a bit later you can play this next to a Flametongue Totem, for example, get the attack buff, attack immediately. Same goes with Argent Commander and Alakir the Windlord, because they have Charge. For example, Alakir and Flametongue from hand for 10 mana, that's 10 damage. So even while there's no Bloodlust, there are still some nice things that this deck can do. Because you have all this Wind Fury and Divine Shield and Taunt stuff, the deck also runs Corpse Takers, which is the deck's main early game threat. Wind Fury with Divine Shield, Corpse Taker, ready to roll. Play Flametongue Totem next to it. Boom, that's 10 damage right there as well. Most of this deck is really built around this token and token synergies. There's also Primorphin Totem, which always creates at least 2 minions for you. The Serenite Chain Gang also creates 2 minions for you. There's Sea Giants, which are cheaper to play if there's plenty of minions on the board, so you get some of that big punch from those. And in this version there's also a Cult Master for added card draw. I originally played with Hagatha instead of Cult Master in this slot. The gameplay that I recorded with this deck was actually with Hagatha, but I later switched to Cult Master and found that to be slightly better. The deck also boasts a tech package, fairly common in the current meta. There's double weapon removal, there's double transformation effect, stronger than silence. Also nice sometimes against Taunt Druid when you get those beasts into the pool and can prevent them from getting Hadronux back. unless they happen to roll high. And finally there is Stormforged Axe for a little more early board control. Not a great card, but there just aren't any better ones available. And the Lich King to top of your curve, and it can give you some nice surprises. So how do you mulligan with this deck? You're always looking for those 2-drops to start the game. So on turn 1, if you're not on the coin, you will have to play hero power, so you want to keep something that activates that totem into a threat. Flametongue Totem, Direwolf Alpha, great keeps. The best keep, however, is the Markspark Eel. Always keep this in every matchup if you can. It's such a great swing in the early game. If you're facing aggressive decks, you want to hold on to stuff like Primal Fin Totem, Stormforged Axe, Vicious Scalehide. You really need to get on board on 2. If you're facing something a bit slower, then depending on their clear capabilities, if it's not a Warlock, Primal Fin Totem can be really good. And then there's always Corpse Taker and Sea Giant. If you have any other early game, then keeping these big threats can really help you push the damage. As always, I've prepared a bunch of gameplay material of this deck for you, and if you enjoy this content, then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. And now, let's go take a look at some Shaman action in the Witchwood. Odd Rogue, having Taunt, Lifesteal and a couple of weapon removals is pretty good, so I'm going to assume Odd Rogue. We'll start up with the hero power. Turned out to be a quest rogue. Well, maybe I should expect quest rogue instead of odd rogue nowadays. That might be a thing. I want to coin the Corpse Taker. I think I'm playing an ooze here. Let's take away the dagger, which means that he just spent 2 mana last turn to do nothing. And I like when they spend 2 mana to do nothing. That's excellent. Excellent start for a game. Yeah, actually the only game we have won has been a quest rogue, which was one of the better matchups. Lost to 3 Cubelocks and 1 Spiteful Priest, all of which are terrible matchups. I really want Corpse Taker out there, because it has Wind Fury and stuff. Then I can buff it up with the Direwolf Alpha. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, you want to use so that they can... Yes, that is the whole point. You don't want them to be able to dagger up for a deckhand. He probably has only 1 fan. I can use Scalehide to kill this. Then I could try to roll a totem. But that's 1 in 3 to get healing, which is the only one that I would want. I think I'll play the Scalehide here. Trade away the Glacial Shard, and I'll play the Primal Fin Totem. Let's try this line. Then I'm considering playing the Direwolf Alpha here between these minions, so that the Murlocs can benefit from it and the Wind Fury minion, if we get to a point where that can be done. It's Sonya Shadow Dancer, which is basically the best card. And then they use the Shadow Steps and others. Hey, down below on the feed you can find a link to my Quest Rogue guide on Hearthstone top decks. So if you want to learn how to play Quest Rogue, then I have created all the instructions for you. It's just able to keep the Corpse Taker frozen. That's a problem. Oh man, so many bounce effects. I really can't explain this anymore. I've explained it so many times tonight. So many times. Quest is almost done. I mean, I have the option to ooze again. I think I'm actually going for that. I'm oozing again. We're keeping the deckhands at bay for now. No deckhands to kill the Corpse Taker, at least not as easily. But just look at those. I mean, that was an insane hand. He had quest completion directly from hand. at the start of the game. That is nuts. That is just nuts. I mean, Glacial Shard, double Shadow Step. He Mimic Podded the Glacial Shard, and he had double Shadow Step and Vanish. What can you say to that? You can't say much. That's a super nut draw. I don't think I've ever drawn like that this well playing Quest Rogue. So that should say something. And I don't have enough mana to play Argent Commander and Direwolf Alpha so that I could kill the Wax Elemental. So I suppose this is lost then. I can do Direwolf Alpha Argent Commander next turn to kill something. How do I survive? With Chain Gang? Maybe he did spend a Vanish. He doesn't have a lot of cards. Maybe he doesn't have any card draw. Let's see about this. That totem roll probably was a mistake, because they are usually incapable of attacking. So that probably is not going to do it. Does he have the Scale Hide? He has the Scale Hide. That is the thing he really wants. He has 2 Scale Hides. Wow. He doesn't need card draw. Not with this hand, he doesn't. Wow. What can you say? That's seriously nuts. So I can Murkspark Eel down a Scale Hide. If I play Direwolf Alpha, I have enough damage to take down the Wax Elemental, so I can kill 2 of these. Then I could Argent Commander. No, I don't have enough mana to do all of that. Ouch. I need to go with the Direwolf Alpha anyway. Yeah, because I need to take down the Wax Elemental now. But I need to go with the Eel because I need to take down one of the Chargers. And then I need to play... I'm trying to look for a Taunt Totem here. Couldn't find one. I can take away the dagger at least, so I make it a little bit more difficult to use deckhands, but he's already at 9 mana, so it probably doesn't matter. I wanted to take down both Scale Hides so he wouldn't have those bounces. Though he wouldn't be able to bounce those charge minions so effectively. I'd rather let him bounce a freeze than bounce something that rushes or charges. Yeah, I mean, but hey, that happens in card games, I don't really mind. Yeah, this is the bad thing here, when he's able to bounce it. That's why I tried to get rid of all the Scale Hides. I probably need to axe down the Scale Hide, hit down the Shard. I will have 7 mana remaining, so I can play Scale Hide, Hero Power, Defender of Argus. So I hit here, I hit there, then I need to do Hero Power, Scale Hide, Defender of Argus. When I got the Taunt Totem, I might have also been able to do just Taunt Totem again. But I don't have 10 mana for next turn anyway, so I still couldn't do Commander, Defender. That simply isn't an option. So if I hex the Wax Elemental, I can kill all the minions, because it will lose the Divine Shield. No, I can't, I don't have 10 mana. Yeah, I still can't. Can I go down to 22? Well, I kind of have to. I could keep a Taunt minion up. Let's do that. I go in with that one. I go in with the Argent Commander. And I leave a Taunt minion alive. He can't kill the Taunt minion with the dagger, Of course now he can start playing deckhands if he has any. So the Taunt minion affords some level of protection. I don't really see a way to actually win this game from here, but it's always nice to try. What can his hand be? He has to have like prep stuff. I need to take that 5, right? If he has charged minions and vanished, well, I will die. I accept that. Because I have to put a clock on him. If his draw happens to be bad here, I have to be the one who puts a clock on him, because if I go for a long game I will lose anyway. So taking that 5 damage now is the play. It's no use to kill off this minion and then just die a little bit later. This gives me ouch, actual ouch. He found another glacial shard. Ouch. I think I need to trade it away. He has used both shadow steps. He has used the Brewmaster. Do I just push 10 to face? But what can his hand be? There are 4 cards. I really don't understand. If he's at 20 and I have 18 on board. Oh, but this can still do a lot of things. I think I have to kill it. Then we play the Lich King. We try to push a little bit. He has used 1 vanish. He has another vanish left. Now he can finally find some cards. Now he can find a lot of cards. He can find a ton of cards. I mean, he probably has prep in hand. I mean, prep is like one of the few cards that makes sense to have there. I really wonder what he has there. Had a sap. Okay. That means I have 14 damage. 15 damage. Still 5 off. I think this is time to push face with everything I have. Because I can deal 15 this turn, put him down to 5. He has no more taunts and he has no more heals. That means he will have to kill me next turn. Which is definitely possible. Especially now with all that card draw. But I'm not going to have more turns. I'm not going to have more turns. This is the play. Put him to 5. He has no taunts, he has no heals. He kills me this turn or I win. No, he can't freeze me because both the glacial shards are also gone. Glacial shards are gone, wax elementals are gone, scale hards are gone. He kills me now or he dies. This is the only way. This is the only way. 6 charge minions to face.
Drink with me, friend.
I hope you like my invention.
But he has no shadow steps either. And no brewmasters. So the only way would have been to vanish, right? I think the only way was to vanish. He's out of mana. Boom. Nah. I keep Direwolf Alpha so that I can empower my early totems. But I keep Haggata for the end game.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
You have to believe him not drawing Defile or Hellfire kill by turn 5. You can't do that with this deck, I think. Do you think this deck can kill by turn 5? Because I don't think this deck has enough damage to do that. There's no Bloodlust. There's no damage spells. How do you kill by turn 5? I'm open to suggestions. I just don't think there's... I mean, even like Corpse Taker comes down on 4. Even if you have Corpse Taker Flame Tongue Totem which deals 10. You just can't get it down fast enough. Against this opener, I will have to coin the Primal Fin or I will never take the board. This can easily push enough when he taps. Really? You think so? But then why are the highest win rate cards against Warlock the... Huh. I don't know. Healing Totem? One copy of Healing Totem found. Doesn't really matter because there's always a defile target. That's nasty. I want to play Corpse Taker next turn. It's time to play the Flame Tongue Totem. Then I will kill off the minions first into that. And then I will Totem up, which will give me a chance to roll another Healing Totem. Which would be nice. I guess it doesn't really matter because Hellfire kills the board anyway. Defile almost kills the board anyway, so... Oh, does kill the board anyway. So maybe it doesn't really matter. I could have sacrificed this to play around Defile. Well, this means that there was nothing that I could do to play around Defile in the end. A voodoo doll. Interesting. I want to protect the Divine Shield of the Corpse Taker, so that I can play around Hellfire. In order to do that, I trade here. This one can go face. Well, one of these has to trade there, if I want to protect the Divine Shield. I guess the trader can also be the Primal Fin. It's fine. And then I'll play the Corpse Taker. So now Hellfire doesn't kill the Corpse Taker because he can't get rid of the Divine Shield unless he has something like Hellfire and something more. Oh dear. Can I top deck an ooze, please? I cannot. Sad times. I really wanted an ooze there. Really wanted an ooze. Oh, I'll do what I can. Play the Dive of Alpha here. What was quick? Oh, Casulinus came back quickly. I push him down to 10. I could play the axe, push him down to 8. But then I can't play Argent Commander next turn. Should I need it? I think this will have to do. Too bad I couldn't find an ooze. I really would have loved to find an ooze. Alright, Doomguard. Small upside is that if he hits here and Hellfires, the Doomguard also dies. You can do it in that order. That's a better order. And I would still be one off with the Commander. Feels bad, man. And he still also has the Skull, so he can pull another demon next turn. Got pretty close. All he needs is Taunt. Now we're going to go with the Scale Hide. Kill the Doomguard. Now I can play the axe. Beat him in the face. He doesn't have more demons in hand. Okay. Okay, he can Spellstone this for healing though, for example. But now life is getting a little bit more interesting. Of course he has a lot of cards there. So I have 6 with the weapon and the commander. Okay. That would still be lethal against that Spellstone. Actually exciting times. We win the first time against Warlock. For the first time, we actually win a Warlock. I think I'll try with something like this. Let's see what kind of Paladin this is. Odd or even.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
Yeah. It's neither. So it's probably Murloc Paladin then. Oh, it's okay, it's Silverhand Paladin. There are lots of Silverhand Paladins around as well. Just pure Silverhand Paladin. Nothing special about them. I need to challenge the board immediately. I think Scalehide is the play. Let's just start killing those minions immediately. And now this one doesn't line up very well to the Scalehide. He obviously is not going to hero power this, then he plays something like a Knife Juggler, but I can kill that with the axe. So it could be Murlocs. Who knows? Who knows about these things? I can still kill that one with the axe. So I can clear this board. Only having a 1-1 on the board of course is not that nice. Now if he has something like Righteous Protector into Redemption, that's obviously pretty bad. Pressure will be difficult to win. It's Murloc Paladin, right? But I have to kill that. I can't just leave that up. Oh well, oh well. He might be able to kill the Flame Tongue Totem too. Next turn I could play Serenite Chaingang to try to protect this, but with 4 mana he's likely to be able to develop something that I can't kill with the axe. Well now, the eel and axe could kill this, but that could be Redemption. And many other things it can be as well. I guess Chaingang is the safest play here. Get 2 taunt minions up. I don't think I'll hit anything. This 3/4 help is considered a Murloc 2. Yes, it's a Murloc 2. It's an elemental mech demon Murloc dragon beast pirate and totem. Right, he gets a buff going. I'm cool with this one still, but what else does he have? Another War Leader. Now the bets are coming up. Not enough mana to do everything I would like to. So I could try to eel one of these. Yeah, eeling one is the best play by far. I'll play the eel on this side. So we eel one. And we get information on if it's Redemption. It is actually not Redemption. So then it's Noble Sacrifice. Which means that I can attack face. It doesn't really matter where I attack. That's going to go into Noble Sacrifice. Which means that this fellow can kill the other War Leader. And he will have no War Leaders left. Alright, we got rid of the War Leaders. That's good. But if he has any ways to buff this or any other more attack, he can kill the Flame Tongue Totem now that it's unprotected. Does he have Call to Arms? Doesn't have Call to Arms, but has +1 attack for his minions. Ouch, that was so strong right now. But I don't want to remove this weapon, right? Because I could, but that just doesn't seem strong enough. I can Argent Commander. Then I can clear the entire board. He has 1 card left. If that card is a Divine Favor, by the way, that's going to hurt a lot. Yeah, I would need to get rid of some cards. I suppose I do need to get rid of some cards. That has been in his hand for a long time. I can't just let him Divine Favor here. I have to take away the weapon and play the Corpse Taker to play around Divine Favor. This will give him one but it was a Vine Cleaver. No! No, it turned out to be just the card that I would have wanted to ooze. Well, that's unlucky. That's unlucky. What kind of buffs does he have for the minions? Well, he can have Tarim. If he has Tarim, he takes trade, Then he plays Tarim. So the best way to play around Tarim is to trade with this one. So I reduce the number of recruits by 1, and this can still go face. So now he can take double value trade into Tarim. Maybe playing around Divine Favor was a mistake. Maybe. Spike Steed. He is not going to have Spike with Steed in that deck. No way. Absolutely no way. That is not going to happen. Not having ooze for the Spine Cleaver. When I played around Divine Favor, that was my undoing. Ah, feels bad, man. I think I have to hex the biggest, baddest Murloc and kill that one away now. Because he could top deck a Gentle Megasaur. But yeah, that Vine Cleaver, getting full value from Vine Cleaver, that was just insane. If I didn't play the ooze, I would have won the game. But then again, did I have to play around Divine Favor? Divine Favor is a 2-off. It's more likely that he had Divine Favor in his hand from the start than that he had that in his hand from the start. Now it's the Alakir. Get rid of some of these minions. And we can roll Totem. Healing Totem, please. Can't find a Healing Totem. Well, on the board he doesn't trade well into Alakir, but I suppose he's able to find something useful. I guess playing around Divine Favor was still correct. I mean, I was saving the ooze for the Vine Cleaver, but then opted not to. I'm still unsure whether that was correct. Oh, then he high rolled the best one. That's so painful. There's no way anymore. Right. This is the only charge minion I have remaining. I could use this to deal 5 plus 2 to deal 8 damage. That would put him to 6. There's no draw that can deal 6. I need to deal that 5. At least force the trades unless he top decks Tarim. That's very powerful indeed. I mean, I can top deck Hagata if he trades away some of the Divine Shields. So there's still some things I might be able to do. Really depends on his draws here. I would like Hagata now. There's the Hagata. Do I play Flame Tongue Totem out there to die? I get a spell. No, there's no reason for me to play this now. Let's see, the game just got a bit more interesting. I'm going to have to find some AoE. Megasaur, but there's no Murlocs anymore. Alright. 9, 10, he has 14 damage. Axe is not a minion. I have to play the Flame Tongue Totem, I have to get the spell. Feral Spirits are not bad. They can protect me. That's cool. Yeah, I'm looking for that lava burst, absolutely. How much can I overload myself? This overloads for 2 already. If I play the axe, I only have 7 mana next turn. Then if I top deck something like Lich King, I can't play it. I have to give myself the chance to play Lich King if I top deck it. I can't play the axe, I can't overload more. Did he top deck Tarim finally? It would be pretty good for him if he did. Don't play it. Yeah, I know I can't play it because of the Lich. He top decked the Tarim. He finally found the Tarim. That means my time is short. Ouch. Couldn't ask for a better top deck. 12 cards left in the deck and he found Tarim. I can't even play a Volcano if I get it, but I can play a Lightning Storm. Or Healing Rain. He has 18 on board. Healing Rain saves me. This might save me. But it doesn't. I guess it could be Taunt Druid, but no one is really playing that anymore. Oh, this is a terrible hand. Double axe. Ah, that hurts. Maybe I shouldn't have even kept 1 axe, but double axe really hurts. That's all cool. It is actually a Taunt Druid. I need to try to build a board here. I actually need to hit face. I need to hit face and hit face very hard. Let's just overrun him before he recovers. He can of course have a swipe. Swipe is pretty good against this board. That on the other hand is not so great, because I played this one on the previous turn. So I'm completely ready to get some Direwolf Alpha chains going and kill that one. And keep hitting him in the face while I'm doing that. And I can also put a Corpse Taker on the board. Where do I want to position it? It has Wind Fury, which is kind of sweet. Then my Taunt Totem cannot deal damage. Positioning here is probably fine. Now I'll position it there. I might need the Taunt Totem and the Murloc to break through. In before Hand Druid with Plague. Yeah, it could be Hand Druid with Plague, but hey, with this deck I can never play around Plague anyway. Now can I? I don't think I can. That's probably just not possible. Okay, so then it's the axe, and Trieg still goes to face. Not quite as much as I would like, but it's something. Axe hits here, this one hits there, that one hits there, and then it hits face too. Another 3 mana remain. So I can hero power. And I can play Ooze. Just to get a bit more minions on the board. I haven't seen any swipes yet. He might swipe the Corpse Taker. He might swipe the Corpse Taker here. Yeah, he had a swipe all along even. That's pretty sweet when he has that. Swipe right from the beginning, and he can coin Primordial Drake next turn if he has really good hand. That other Corpse Taker is a good pull though. Hero power first, and then I'll play the Corpse Taker on the side. I can hit face with my weapon as well. Just how good Taunt Druid would be if Plague and Malfurion weren't beasts. Yeah, would be a bit better. Now he can coin the Primordial Drake. It's really safe to do so. Well, Hex would be the only bad thing, and I just have not indicated that I have Hex. On the other hand, he doesn't have a read that I don't have Hex, because this card could be a Hex. Definitely could be a Hex there. Now unfortunately I cannot deal with the Primordial Drake, so I will lose to this. I have nothing that deals with that. It kills the Corpse Taker next turn. I can't help it. I need to hit it so that I can start dealing some damage to it. I don't want to play the axe this turn. I can play a Scale Hide on the board. Yeah, that's okay. I don't want to play the axe in case I top deck a Lich King, because Lich King top deck would still be good. If he has 2 Primordial Drakes already, or if he has another swipe, another Drake, those would be the good stuff. That's not bad either. Just less good, but couldn't get the Lich King. So axe and this guy can take down that, but I still have to sacrifice almost everything to kill the Dark Reaper. And because he nourished for crystals, that makes me think that he might have Hadronox Naturalize already, or at least an Ultimate Infestation. Looks like a loss, sadly. There's no reason for me to take that much damage, unless I don't do anything about the Dark Reaper yet. But I can't push any damage to face anyway. Actually I can a little bit with the eel. Yeah, I suppose we're doing this. Eel on that trade there. Europe, or we can get 2 to face. But because he nourished for crystals, that makes me think that either he has Hadronox Naturalize or he has Ultimate Infestation in hand. Otherwise he would have nourished for cards. I mean, he has to have one or the other. There's the Ultimate Infestation. Flametongue Totem doesn't deliver enough damage. And now he has a lot of cards. Do I have to kill the Ghoul Infestor? My 1/1s are on the sides, that's a little bit awkward. Now it's much more likely to have found another swipe or a Spellstone or so many answers. I probably have to use it on this side. Can't get chain going, but I suppose this will have to do. So I get to push a little bit of damage to face. But now he has so many resources. Hadronox or Master Oak Hut into Naturalize is pretty likely at this point. 11 cards left in the deck. And that's just concede if that happens. Yeah, this deck counters my deck, but hey, what can you do? There are counter decks in this world. Spellstone to kill that one. That's sweet. Yeah, I think we're just about ready to concede, except with the Lich King draw we don't. With the Lich King draw we're actually holding on a little bit longer. I need to kill the Apple Bomb here, so that he cannot challenge the Lich King as well. And let's see what we can pick from the Lich King. I have not found a single hex. And I would need hexes to mess up his Hadronox Resurrects. This still looks unlikely, but he spent both spell stones. And he doesn't have a board, so he cannot kill the Lich King. Of course, Doom Pact is not going to help me win a game. But I can't... I really don't want to give him this. I need that Hex top deck right here. That's my Hex top deck. And we kill the beast. Kill that one. Alright. Now we actually have a beast other than Hadronox in his resurrect pool. And he's not going to be able to resurrect any Lich Kings. Can that win me the game? My Lich King cards are pretty bad. These are not very useful. Maybe the Doom Pact can be, but... I might actually win this. Oh, High Road from the Lich King. Ouch. Painful, painful. He only got one Lich King card, and it was the only card that he needed. I don't want to Army of the Dead. Because if I get Hagatha or the Hex... do I just have to risk it? Because I can also get stuff like Alakir. I'm going to lose so many cards if I Doom Pact too, so he's rapidly... I'm losing the fatigue advantage rather rapidly. But I mean, if he has Hadronox and kills that, then, well... that's bad news for me too. I think I have to risk the Army of the Dead. Burnt both Hagatha and Hex. Oops, and I attacked her a little bit too soon. Burnt both Hagatha and the Hex. Two cards I didn't want to burn in my entire deck. Burnt them both. How about that? How about that? Only two cards in my entire deck that I don't want to burn. I mean, he has to have Hadronox soon, right? He just has to. He really should have it already. I have to push with the Flame Tongue Totem now. It will be too late to do it later. I need to play the Ooze this turn too. Maybe I can deal with one Hadronox board with what I have on the board. Because he might also get some of the weaker Taunt minions. He has played both swipes, he has played both spell stones. He has played the Lich King card. He has played both Drakes too. He just doesn't have anything that deals immediate damage. And he doesn't have Hadronox and Naturalize. One or the other is at the very, very bottom of his deck. So he goes for all the possible armor to survive. And survive he will. He's at 35. So of course push everything I can. Well, this has been interesting. Do I hero power? Yeah, sure, I can hero power. Let's see if I can find healing, for example. Couldn't. But then comes the Hadronox and Naturalize. He finally found the pieces. Five cards in my deck, 2 cards in his deck. What to do indeed. I think I need to start trading. I can't Doom Pact yet. I killed that one. I killed that one. Let's get rid of the big ones here. Alakir trades away the frog. And that one. Made some mistakes there. I played poorly on that turn. Crucial turn, and I played it poorly. Can't afford to do that. Now he has 2 frogs and 1 Hadronox in the pool. It's 33% chance to get Hadronox with the Witching Hour. Because he's Witching Hour and he has cubes. There's 1 card left. These cannot attack because he doesn't have armor. But he can have branching paths, which can give him armor. Yeah, he has 1 branching paths left for more armor. Both houses have been spent, but there's 1 branching paths left. It will give him the armor he needs. Then these can attack. Because for this line. Oh, that's interesting. These 2 can trade away 1 golem. Well, well. I want to protect the taunt minions for now, right? So this one trades here. Together with this one. Then I can play an Argent Commander. Argent Commander will trade here. Then I'll play the Direwolf. And all of this stuff is going face. Puts him down to 9. On the board he cannot kill off the cube. And then there's the apple bombs inside. Does he get the frog or the Hadronox? He gets the Hadronox. He gets the Hadronox and he cubes the Hadronox. 1 in 3 for him to get that one. 1 in 3. Does that mean that he wins now? He had 1 in 3 to get the Hadronox. And he won the roll. He has so much damage coming into. And there's the cubes. So even if I clear this board, he has Hadronoxes and he has apple bombs. So there's even more damage coming in. First of all, I play the Sea Giant. And all these apple bombs are going to heal him so much. I think he won. Feels bad, man. I think he won. Too slow to play the hero power. He has 12 on board. 13. So he's only 3 off. Yeah, I was a bit too slow. I needed to play the hero power. That would have perhaps made the difference. Because now he can kill off a cube to get more rotten apple bombs on the board. And he has the Hadronoxes in the other cube. If he didn't have the Hadronoxes, well, the Doom Pack could have won me the game, but with the Hadronoxes there, can't do anything. Also having lost both Hagata and the second Hex to the Army of the Dead. That drew 5 cards and 2 of them were the worst cards that I could draw. It's just going to heal so much with the apple bombs. Just can't get through. I had 66% to win this game, even after losing miserably on the Army of the Dead roll. 66% at that point was pretty good. But it didn't happen.
I'm almost out of cards.
I can't do it with Serenite Chain Gang either. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.